I raise the issue because I suppose we have to have an emergency plan in case of such a case in the region, particularly given, the makeup of the region. We have some major industrial sites. We have the international airport. We have the Limerick Tunnel. We have Moneypoint. We have industrial zones. So it's to look at our readiness in case, of such an emergency taking place. And I suppose my main concerns were also around the capability of the other hospitals, the Model 2 hospitals, to Ennis and Nina and St. John's, to accommodate such a plan. It is an interim plan from what I understand as well. So I presume there is capacity for this to be reviewed. And I suppose it's also strengthening our case in the region for the need for a second Model 3, for a Model 3. We don't have a Model 3 in the region. So, that was the whole point of the question, is to highlight our readiness in terms of any major emergency and the capability of the hospital network in the region to deal with that, particularly in light, as you said, with the day-to-day overcrowding at UHL currently.
Yeah, and the response that you got essentially stated that, look, they do have their emergency protocols in place, but as far as we know, they don't outline anything other than how to deal with overcrowding, which already isn't being dealt with to any satisfaction.
Certainly, and I suppose the purpose of it and purpose of highlighting it as well was that I believe that emergency plan needs to be strengthened, and other factors to be taken into consideration in terms of, the increased level of activity in the region. And also, you have to take into consideration the seasonality of the Midwest. We're very privileged to have some amazing natural attractions in the region, and some major tourism centres and places where people come in the summertime. So our increase in population during those periods also have to be factored in and taken into consideration, as well as the fact that we have quite a number of industrial site type zones and functionalities and facilities in the region. And I suppose I'm highlighting it because I believe that it does need to be reviewed, and for the interim report to be strengthened, and also for capacity building and future proofing, so that we can point to these when we're talking to the likes of the minister in terms of the need that we all believe that we do in terms of having a Model 3 in the region, particularly in Ennis, to be able to cope with that also, and to be able to function in the event of an emergency.